John here, just wanted to show you a little project I've been working on. This is my new vibratory tumbler. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Basically, put a bunch of media in there, whether it's walnut shells or rocks or ceramic or whatever, and it goes and polishes your parts. So this is my homebrew version. I found a bunch of YouTube videos and websites and stuff, guys just explaining, how they made their own. So I took all their good ideas and then put it together to this. So basically, I got a furnace motor that I got on Craigslist for 10 bucks. And, I bought an extension cord, wired it in. Note to self, or to you guys, dimmer switch for household lights, don't work on an AC motor. So basically, this weight here, piece of scrap I had left over, the idea is for this to be off-center, or off weight, whatever it's called, so that as it's spinning, it shakes the whole thing. So I'm going to start by, I got a threaded M8 hole right there. I'm going to start by going like that. To provide some weight, I could put washers here, or nuts or whatever to add weight, and that'll add an eccentric weight to it. I feel better if I thread it from the inside, because then the bolt won't go flying if bad things happen, so I might do that instead. So what's going on, I got 2 pieces of plywood. Okay, 2 layers of plywood. The bottom one has these rubber feet for vibration dampening, and so the thing doesn't walk across the floor. Inside, it's suspended with 3 springs. 4 would be better, but I only had 3. So I put 2 on the side with the heavy weight, the motor. And see if I can show you how I mounted these things. Sorry, it's dark and won't focus. Basically a flat steel bar with 2 holes drilled in it. One goes through the spring, the other doesn't. Nuts on the other side. Why aren't you focusing? There we go. Nuts on the other side. It's a real pain getting those bolts inside the spring. So it might not be the absolute best method of attachment. But hopefully it doesn't vibrate itself loose. And the motor's bolted down with 4 stainless M8 screws, bolts. And then the third one's just on the other side. Just got to support the weight of the bucket. So that's that, and as you can see, it's pretty springy, pretty wobbly. We'll see if it works. Haven't tried it yet. Buckets, 2 buckets. First one is bolted directly to the board. That way this one can have my media and my parts and everything. Drop it in, take it out, whatever. Easy peasy. Notice I have a funnel bolted to the bottom there. And where did my wrench go? Just want to show you how I did this. Just a little M6 bolt at the top here. Alright, funnel. It's stuck. There. Had it laying around. Here's a 1/2-inch aluminum bar that I drilled and tapped on each side for M6. It's roughly, I think, 6 1/4 inches long to match my funnel. Just an automotive oil funnel. Goes like that. And the point of this, apparently, is to, as the media is tumbling, the cone will have the media come up and back into the center instead of just loosely bouncing all over the place. This sort of gives it a pattern, like a wave going towards the inside. And it's supposed to keep your parts rotating properly and blah blah blah. So all the guys are saying that's the hot ticket. And all the industrial ones are sort of, they have rounded bottoms and they come up in the middle just like this. So this is obviously the poor man's version. Speaking of which, I got about 45 bucks into this setup here. The motor was 10 bucks. Various hardware was 10 bucks. I forget what else. Oh yeah. Here's my media. Corn cob media bought from a pet store, Big Al's aquarium store. Found it in the hamster section because your pets deserve better. Anyway, Beto cobs. So this is crushed corn cob material. Walnut shells also work, but this bag of 3.5 liters was $5, and that should work perfect to get me started. Just to try something out, to start, you know. The industrial stuff comes impregnated with polishing media, so I think I'll just take some automotive car wax, the liquid stuff, and just wet those things. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, who knows. If it doesn't, it'll be $5 out. But so that goes in there, and then here's the kind of stuff that I will be tumbling. You know, making these aluminum Mannix handles. The backside's not machined, so it's still the edges are rough and everything, and you know, it could use a good polish, even though it's pretty wicked as it is. But you know, these aluminum parts that I make, sometimes I machine the backside, sometimes I don't. The edges, sometimes they're rough, sometimes they're not. And the tumbling will just deburr all the edges and polish it up and make it look better, make it feel, work, look awesome. And so that's pretty much it for the intro. Next up I'll show, probably attach it to this video, show it in action. I haven't actually tried it yet. So let's do that next. Oh yeah. 2 or 3 tries, got it all figured out. So the bucket is a loose fit into the second bucket there, so I'm using a mouse pad to sort of buffer them and make them a tight fit. Otherwise the upper bucket would just sort of rotate and not bounce properly. So that was an easy fix. Now it's a snug fit. I might use 2 mouse pads or something instead. As for weight, it took a decent amount, so I got my bolt threaded in from the inside so the bolt doesn't fly out. And I got a big nut and then 2 small nuts attached on the outside. This is not a permanent solution. I don't like this in theory because if these ever bounce loose, they're going to fly and they're going to hit me in the eye. I know it. So for testing purposes, obviously this is going to have to do, but I'll figure out a more secure solution, whether I pin them or something. I don't know. But it's a good amount of weight. You can see that's a 3-inch aluminum, bit of steel on the outside eccentrically. Anyway, let's do it. You can see the media is sort of going counterclockwise. The bucket's actually moving too. And if I hold the bucket down, it bounces even, the media bounces better. So I gotta hold that bucket better. That's okay. I'll put a part in there. Ready to go. So this is the kind of stuff you're supposed to leave it like overnight to let it really polish, but we'll see how long it takes. Stay tuned for part 2, and I'll do some little before and after polishing vids once I get this bucket to stop rotating. That's pretty cool though. I'm happy about this. I'm really happy about this. $45 gets me a tumbler. I know you can buy those cheesy ones from Harbor Freight, but those little ones from Harbor Freight, but I've heard as many good reviews as bad reviews. So I think the quality is just subpar. Apparently the good cheap ones are from Eastwood.com. You can get one from $150 and up. The one I would want is $200 or $300. For a size this big. But here I got a 2-gallon bucket. That's plenty big enough for what I need. And if I started using ceramic media and the bucket wears out, which it will, oh darn, this is a $1 bucket from the bulk food store. Super easy to replace, done, replace. So, yeah. I'm pretty happy. This is awesome. This is really cool. Okay, one more time. Ah, see the mouse pad fell down. You can hear it. See that bucket bouncing around. Cool. See, and you can fit big parts in there. It should work. Might be a little big, or I just filled up more media. I have some more. Cool, 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 cool. Apparently this is too much weight. Check this out. Works great though. Yeah, too much weight. That's easy fix. Alright, so I'm going to tumble these parts in my corncob media with no polishing wax or whatever it's called. So I got two mirrored handles. I'm going to just polish one of them and leave the other one unpolished. Let me get macros. Here we go. Alright, so these parts have a pretty nasty chattery edge because my tool was dull. Come on, focus. Anyway, the edge is pretty bad. There we go. That one especially. Stupid camera. Anyway, so the edges are bad. The bottom. These holes are kind of sharp. This piece, this edge right here is really sharp. Kinda. And a lot of chatter here. We'll see what it does to that. You gonna focus? No, not gonna focus, are you? Anyway, tons of chatter on this part. As you can see in there, not very happy about that. But that's okay, we'll see what the polishing does. This was obviously a previous part due to all the grooves and everything, but you can see a lot of milling marks in there, some scratches. See what the polishing does for that. This is just a before. In the facing pattern, you can see all the half circle milling marks. I wonder if it will take those away, if it'll still leave my lined finish. We will see, won't we? This will be interesting. See how long I have to tumble it for to make a difference. Alright, update. So I ran it for an hour. No real noticeable difference. The parts are getting sort of black smudge spots on them, but it wipes right off easily. But yeah, no noticeable difference in shininess or anything like that. It's starting to show. The other thing is this motor is getting extremely hot. After an hour, it was too hot to touch. And then I let it cool off, let it run for another hour. Same thing. So I got 2 hours into these parts. And but the motor's getting way too hot. There's no way I can let it run for more than an hour at a time, really, while feeling, safe about it. So I have another one here. It's a lot more open design. There's vent holes in the front, big vent hole in the back, whereas this one's more closed. So to cool it off, I just finished up. Oh, what do we have here? Little fan. So we'll see if it works. I'll bend the blades so that they actually flow some air, and then we'll see. Who knows? So after all my testing and playing around with this homemade tumbler, I figured out it's absolute garbage. Just hogwash. I just bought an Eastwood heavy-duty tumbler for about $200 from Eastwood on eBay, and it's so much better. It's perfect. You know, it's a lot of money, 200 bucks, but if you buy it from their eBay store and you bid on it, nobody's going to bid against you because they always list so much. If you bid on it, you can get it for about 25 to 50 bucks off. I think it retails for 250 and I got it for 200, 205 shipped to Canada. So yeah, the homemade tumbler was a waste of time. If you can at all afford it, buy the right one. Even buy those like $50 Harbor Freight ones, if that's all you need. Eastwood sells them too for relatively cheap. Anyway, garbage. Don't waste your time. I'm uploading another video. If I'm smart, I will put a link right here to that second video, and it'll be called Eastwood Tumbler or whatever, and that'll show you what a real tumbler does. Anyway, well, thanks for watching the waste of time do-it-yourself tumbler video, and check out the Eastwood one.